All right. Sage the room. Sage the room.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's been happening a lot lately. We have to well, I did vacuum. So
I kind of straightened my shelves so I didn't look as trashy as normal. And I am going to run a vacuum in here in a little while.
Right.
And as soon as I get paid, I'm going to get some drawers because I have comics all over the floor. It's pretty bad.
Right. Yeah, no, you shouldn't have comics on the floor.
But I have downsized my entire collection to 3 short boxes, Daphne.
3 short boxes?
Mm-hmm.
3.
3.
Right. And how many short boxes do I take up?
1.5 is just you, and the other half is Jose. So,
oh my goodness, that's a lot of books.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And that's not included. But all the trades are on the shelves, and now I'm waiting for the trades because that's what I'm doing. Because I'm a cunt like that.
Oh no.
I don't need floppy books or floppy dicks.
Right.
Hard covers all around.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So how you doing? Good morning. Today? Yeah. So what day is it today?
It is May 17th, 2024, and this is the Raging 2 the Vlogs. The show that's about everything and nothing and sometimes something. I don't know.
Right. We still got to figure it out.
We're getting there. Hey, at least we didn't have the problems C and Chad had last night. Dude, they tried to go live, and for the first time ever, StreamYard was like, nope, we're busy.
Really?
Yes, and like everybody was having a struggle last night going live. My bitch now is YouTube. Send out my fucking notifications.
Well, did it send out the notifications?
No.
Oh, so
it hates us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's just us
there was a 15-minute delay yesterday before the guys could go live.
Damn.
Fucking 15 minutes. You ready for this shit?
Absolutely not, but hit it. Oh, wow, what happened?
Nothing.
Just
mood, man.
Oh,
mood.
yeah. No, I feel ya. It's like, I don't know. It's just kind of been weird lately. But when hasn't it been, really?
It's always been weird. It's just sometimes shit happens that just puts you in a fucking mood, you know?
Right, yeah. Yeah, but that's well, hopefully we can try to kind of like work our way out of it in the next hour and a half. So we'll see. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Raging to the Vlogs show. Oh my right. So who's joining us today?
Rob.
Chat?
Hello, Rob.
Hello, Rob.
Head over to Kickstarter and sign up for the pre-launch of
Oh my God. I was traumatized by the photo that Rob posted on his Facebook. And it was his Kickstarter pile, like, of books that he bought on Kickstarter, but like the shit took up the entire like a mud room, you know, next to his, like, he would get
and that's why I downsized.
And he would just put it in a pile, and it was just like I don't know, just this really horrific pile of packages he still has to open up.
Oh, he hasn't even opened them?
No, he hasn't even opened. Like I said, I was traumatized. Like, how old? Like, can you tell eras from, like, you know, like the striations of the packaging as you go down?
Oh my God.
Like fossil, like, is there a fossil record?
Oh my God. We're going to carbon date these comics.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And yes, I see you, my beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. Now, if you're joining us from Facebook, oh my God, Rob. If you are joining us from Facebook, if you are joining us from LinkedIn, come on over to YouTube. Keep Rob company in the chat. Convince him to open up his boxes faster. The chat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so yeah, oh my God, let's just get this started.
Yeah, just do it. Let's do it.
So hello everyone, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
I got nowhere else to go! I got nowhere else to go! I got nothing else.
Speaking of mood,
That
was it. And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which again, I would like to thank everybody who pledged to the campaign that ended last Friday. Thank you so much for all of your support. The books are at the printers right now, so hopefully I'm going to get them before the end, like just about the end of the month, so that the first week of June I can get everything out and hopefully have everything out in time for my medieval fantasy drama, Egoraven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter on June 10th. The link is in the show notes and in the chat as well. It is the pre-launch page for Egoraven, Heir of the First Unicorn, Volume 2, which collects issues 5 through 8 of this 15-issue series. So, like I said, links are in the chat and in the show notes. But in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, where you can find 500 plus videos of me doing comics, doing live streams, draw streams, the whole thing in the archive, as well as audiobooks and, and anything else you probably might want to find there, and I also simulcast through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. And to tell you more about it, if she feels like it.
Don't feel like it. It's Indie Comics Network. It's on YouTube at Indie Comics Network, and you can find it at indiecomicsnetwork.com. And basically, it's comics and stuff on my YouTube channel, and I am in a fucking mood.
Yes. It's like, It's like.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
No, it's like this, Daphne.
Run! She's a ghost and a bitch!
Swear.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I swear though, it's like that pile of Kickstarters. I mean, yeah, so it's like, does there come a point, Rob, when you're like looking at that pile and going like, "Ooh, I buy too much stuff." Because it's one thing like when you have them like slowly coming in and you kind of open them and then you put them aside and then you kind of like on the shelf and but when you literally have them piled in a corner,
when you're Jack Skeleton all over the place, what's this? What's this?
I mean, it's like, wow, yeah, that a year's worth. I mean, yeah, and plus they're on the floor too. I've been completely traumatized by keeping anything on the floor. I mean, I remember losing a whole box of Kickstarter comics. Yeah, I know, right? I remember having a whole box of Kickstarter comics that I would have under my desk, and I would get them and put them under there. And what I didn't know for the longest time is that there was a leak in my office. And the box was slowly absorbing all of that water.
Well,
And
at
then,
least they were good for something.
oh my God. And then it's like just one, and then it's like, as the leak got worse and worse, right? Then it's like one day, it's like I went to get something. I go, what's that smell? And it was
Mildew.
all and it was all my Kickstarter books like rotting underneath
Fuck.
underneath my table. And it's like, oh yeah, and the flooding got worse. That's why I ended up having to redo the office because of that
Oh, that
leak.
sucks.
And
Ass.
and mind you, this was already us suffering like 3 or 4 floods in the basement already. So I thought my books were safe by being on the first floor. And
Nope.
no, there's a leak here too. So now I don't keep anything on the floor unless it's in a plastic bin. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's my next goal.
so because it's like you never know where a leak is going to spring up. So luckily I've hadn't had a problem since we fixed it. Um so yeah, because what happened was that there was this huge crack running along like the joint of the wall. So every time it rained,
Wow.
everything would it was like it was raining inside the house, and it would just flood in the office, and that's what happened. So we had to seal all that off. We had to fix the drywall. Justin says, oh, that sucks, no fun. I bought those giant rolling racks for industrial kitchens and put my long boxes on those. Yeah, I have one in the corner without the wheels though. I have a one in the corner there, and
Just
then I have,
kidding.
yeah, it's like I have all like a shelf. That's where my paper starts. Anything that's paper, the bottom is a plastic bin, and then like my original art starts there. The pages, it's about like 1,000 or something pages. And yeah, because I figure if the water ever gets that high, I have a much larger problem.
Right? That's
There's
it.
that's
Like
there's
my bottom is stickers, buttons,
right, yeah,
magnets, and everything. Then we get into fucking
right,
prints, and
uh-huh,
then comics, then original
right,
art.
yeah,
And it's like, so that's how I judge my trauma. Like,
right, yeah,
holy shit,
exactly.
it's almost to the OA.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah,
Fuck.
exactly. So thankfully, hopefully that's not, the area I'm in. I mean, yeah,
Right.
it's like it seems like ever since Hurricane Sandy, I've been like kind of like keeping track of like the flooding areas in New York. And it seems that in Queens, my house is like Queens is shaped like this, which is why during like the last severe flooding,
And
you
what
were
you're
hearing
like here.
stories. You were hearing stories of people literally drowning in their
Right.
apartments, their basement apartments. It's because Queens is kind of like this, right? And I'm all the way up here.
Lucky.
So any flooding that we experience is because of like kind of like, like either we had like a pipe problem, or some kind of latch, I forgot what it was called, was broken, so we got that fixed, so we hadn't had flooding since. And then this one was just the crack in the wall. So but no like actual flooding like you see the subways, you remember those where the subways looked like a swimming pool? That was
Mount Doom.
over. um but yeah, that's yeah, so yeah, so luckily I don't have to worry about water on this level coming up this high. you know um, but yeah,
Yeah,
so
I don't either. I mean, I'm not saying that the state is trying to gentrify the areas around me, but
by
luckily
flooding you
for
out.
us, by flooding us out, but luckily for us, all the construction being built around us, we're the highest peak of the poor peoples. So
Oh,
we're
right.
the last of the poorest to go.
Oh no.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
these
I mean, I'm not saying it's intentional. It's just funny how you can actually see the slopes now in this thing
right.
that go back to the
Little,
back of the subdivision.
could be just pure coincidence.
It is, I'm sure. Like state
It's not
government
like they
would never
have it's
flood
not
out
like they
poor
have
people.
architects. Yeah, it's not like they have architects and city planners working on this.
and came back because I guess they felt the road wasn't sloped enough.
Right.
Because they had redone it, and then they came through, tore up the section at the front end of the subdivision, and made that slope even steeper. And the runoff is from the fucking neighborhood across the street with the $300,000 to $500,000 homes. It's like, oh yeah, nobody caught that, buddy.
Oh right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the other day, I was at BJ's, which for those of you who don't know, BJ's is a version. It's kind of like the lower end Costco.
Well,
yeah. I don't know what you were thinking.
Good morning. Well, I only know BJ's as,
right, the supermarket. So while I was over there, I decided to pick up something that I usually don't pick up. But the thing is, though, so many people have been talking about this. No. That's Sam's Club. That's right.
God, that's offensive to the poorest, Daphne. Stop. Jesus Christ.
So, like this book, people have been talking about this book for so much, much. It's actually a running gag in one of my Egoraven novels. I had to make it a running joke in Egoraven. That's how that's how crazy people are for this book. And I figured that, it's like I saw it there. They have the discount rack, and I go, you know what? Let me pick up one book, because when I was at Forbidden Planet, I remember seeing it there, and I actually regretted not picking it up, because I figured, you know what, for as popular as this book is, I should at least have one copy. So I finally picked one up.
You bought something for popularity?
Yes, I did.
Jesus Christ, you're not the same anymore.
I picked this up. I picked up a copy of Dog Red. Ladies and gentlemen, the book that all your faves could never. This is the book that not only outsells the entirety of comics as we know it, it outsells the entirety of publishing as we know it. According to the latest book scans, this book is the biggest selling book worldwide. Not comic book, not children's book. The best selling book. If there was ever a discussion about what the zeitgeist is, right? People like using that word, right?
Just because people like to spend money on their kids.
This is it. This is the zeitgeist, right?
And at one time, so was 50 Shades of Grey. At one time, so was Harry Potter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That is exactly the zeitgeist. The zeitgeist is how eras are measured, and it's like, it's like literally changing the culture. literally changing the culture. And the thing is, though, it's like, look, it's, and the thing is, I bought it for a bunch of different reasons. One, because of what it was, because it was Dogman, right? And because of the fact of its bestseller status, that it's like, we talk about, everybody wants to talk about, like, look, it's like Neil Gaiman. This outsells Neil Gaiman, okay?
It shouldn't.
This outsells Neil Gaiman. That whatever the number one most funded book on Kickstarter doesn't come close to what this book sells, right?
And it's cute. I'm not saying it's not, but
right.
The
it's
number
like,
one selling book in the world, that just shows you we are in the worst timeline.
I don't know if it's the worst timeline.
It's honestly, the worst.
No, it's like, honestly, Because the thing is, though, is that once I actually got this book and looked through it, right? And it's like, it made me understand a whole bunch of things. It really did. It put a lot of pieces together, right? And one, this is the reason why you cannot sell a children's book on Kickstarter.
Oh,
That this is the reason why you cannot sell, like, it's like if you wanted to do children's books, kids book, whatever you want to call it, it's like every time I went over Kickstarter, you don't see it. You don't see children's books, right?
right.
And there's a
right.
reason for that, because you don't need to. Parents don't need to go to Kickstarter looking for a children's book, because they can go to fucking BJ's and buy a children's book. They can go to Barnes and
That's
Noble.
how they could.
That they can go to Barnes and Noble. They can go anywhere. They can go to a supermarket. This shit's in supermarkets, right?
Sure.
It's like, I'm sure you have overstock at dollar stores. I mean, it's like you don't Kickstarter. You can't sell children's books on Kickstarters because it doesn't need to be there.
Right.
It's like we were talking about how 35%
That,
of
and you're dragging your kid through the fucking store. They see
Yeah.
that physical object and they grab
Right.
it, and
Right.
it's either a yay or a nay at that point.
right.
And so, yeah, it's much more likely than the kid scrolling online
Right.
and stumbling across a website that takes a credit card online
Right.
based on maybe we'll get this or maybe we
Right.
won't.
Oh, and also here's where also explains why is it, right? How much do you think this book is?
Well, you said you got it on discount, right? So I'm going to say $15.
$12.99. I paid $9.99 for it,
Nice.
right?
Mm-hmm.
See this manga here?
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think this costs?
$15.
This particular one is 19,
Right.
right? So this is for 12, right? It's
Versus-
hardcover.
You see this floppy trade here?
Yeah,
How much do you think I paid for that?
You paid $10 for that.
$30.
$30.
$30 fucking dollars, because I bought this on Kickstarter.
Right.
So that's
So yeah, so it's like, so if you're wondering, so if you're kind of wondering why comics is the way they are, I mean, this really does put it in perspective for me,
yeah. It really does.
And this one, and also another reason too that I bought this was because of the format. No, don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. The reason why I bought this as well is because I like the format. It's kind of it's a little like off digest size, and it's hardcover. You got like your spot gloss, I mean, it's really basic, a really basic binding, it's
Right.
hardcover. I mean, it's nothing really fancy, not like some of the stuff we see on Kickstarter, but I mean, full color on the inside, right? And also, like, the other thing, right, that it really made me understand is that there is a difference between for children and being childish.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because it's like I'm flipping, because the dog man that I was looking at Forbidden Planet that I actually regretted not picking up. Literally, I picked it up, opened it up, and the first thing on the page was a Bette Midler joke. And I go, I should have picked that up then. But I figured, it's like, look, I'll just, and yeah, there really is something about, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain how it's like just flipping through this, that in a strange reason, this is more professional than a lot of books that I see on Kickstarter.
Well, yeah.
And I'm not talking about formatting.
It's going
They're
through
just
Scholastic editors and
Right.
fucking everything else. So yeah, it's going to be more professional than these
it has, even though the
self-proclaimed
artwork,
professionals.
even though the artwork is kind of on the like crude side, but there's something incredibly charming about it. It's kind of like Calvin and Hobbes,
Because
where
if you have that crude or underground type style, if
right,
you're consistent in your art,
yeah,
it's stylistic, and that's the
yeah,
difference
yeah,
between a lot of the crude stuff we see in indie comics because it's not
right,
consistent.
right. So I guess it's like, yeah. So I don't know. This kind of put it together for me, and also I think like the one thing that it actually did was that because I don't remember, like someone was talking about like hitting the zeitgeist with their comic. Like they almost hit the zeitgeist. And it's like one, you don't almost hit
What
the
does almost
zeitgeist.
mean? What?
Yeah, I
Explain.
know. It's like you either hit the zeitgeist or you don't.
You
And
came or you didn't.
And nobody plans for that, right?
Right.
And then it's like a kind of and like I said, the word zeitgeist means that your work or whatever it is that hits the zeitgeist becomes a definition of that era. It's like you said, Harry Potter and 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight. Those are zeitgeist books.
Right.
It's like you go outside and look, just a couple of months ago, there were signs all over our neighborhood for a Dogman musical at one of the schools.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
At one of the schools here. Whenever they do a scholastic book fair, this guy is on all of the posters.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
Because everybody recognizes
well, he's their
this
current
book.
breadwinner.
Right. It's like, yeah, exactly. I'm sure 10 years ago they would have had it's like Harry Potter all over it.
Oh,
right.
yeah. And it was all the
And now
scholastic
it's
posters.
Dogman, right? Zeitgeist is when you can go outside and ask somebody, do you know what this is? And more likely than not, they're going to say yes. Your
Right.
grandmother knows Star Wars.
Right.
There's no question that Star Wars is the zeitgeist, is part of the zeitgeist. It's like your grandmother knows Star Wars. It's kind of like how we know what a fucking Kardashian is. It's like, we don't watch anything. We don't watch anything with that family of bimbos, but we know
who
they
they
are.
fucking are.
Right?
Good
Yeah,
almighty.
zeitgeist. Nobody knows who the fuck Brian Polito is. You go outside, nobody knows who
No, they
Brian
really
Polito
don't.
is. They don't know who Death is. Okay? That's not Brian Polito is not zeitgeist. And that's what this kind of really struck home for me is how insular we actually are.
We really are.
Where it's like we really are like any it's like the only reason people would probably know about Neil Gaiman and it is because of his shoys on
Netflix.
Right?
Yeah, or it might be Prime. I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember which. Right? Like
Daphne, you just turned 8 inches back into 4, dude.
Wait, what?
I thought you were gonna be making me feel better today. You just like,
well, it's like, well, we're going the long way around.
Oh, okay.
We're going the long way around, right? And it's like, and the thing is, it's like we're very incredibly. It's just realizing how insular we are, actually. Where it's like, yes, because we're in the middle of indie comics, we think it's like, oh, it's like Brian Polito is the height of comic bookdom, in on Kickstarter, right? It's like,
Right.
Oh my God,
Polito, Mendoza,
but right,
yeah.
But the thing is, so you go outside your door,
and nobody
knows who they are.
Right.
It's like, it's kind of like how you try to talk to normal outside people, about like shit you saw on the internet. And then that's when you realize that you're terminally online.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, I think that was always the funniest thing about watching Joe Rogan, because he's so terminally online,
Right.
is when he had guests in and then he'll talk about whatever conspiracy theory that comes up or something, and then he'll try to talk about it seriously with his guests, and they're like going, what the fuck are you talking about? Those were all the funniest moments to me, because it's like he would be kind of like Joe Rogan's like, oh, wait, what? You've never heard of this? And he goes, no, it's because, and then they're telling you, it's because you spend all your time online like a freak. It's like, and and the thing, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, and sometimes we tend to forget that it's like, yeah, Justin says we're still a niche community to be honest, even with the heights of the MCU. It's true. And the thing is, though, is that even their worst Marvel comic is going to be known outside of your door than your best indie comic.
This is true. True.
You go outside, like I said, everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Everybody knows who Superman is. Everybody pretty much knows who the X-Men is. And look, people are looking forward to Wolverine and Deadpool, right? They know who those characters are.
Yes,
right.
We are a niche of a niche of a
niche. Yeah,
that's how it breaks down. Because like in reality, you can go outside your door and there's still a lot of fucking Image books that aren't known.
Right.
Like the Max, which fucking even had a series on MTV. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people still
you go outside, nobody knows who Lady Death is. You go outside, look, nobody knows who the Order of the Stick is. I mean, that's I think the number 4 top funding book on Kickstarter. Nobody knows who that is. Okay, although the Power Rangers, then you have like the IPs, it's like, like Power Rangers and shit. Okay, people would that's kind of zeitgeist.
Well, that's different because that's shit that was outside and came
in. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like it wasn't born here per se.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're not, it's like you're locked in here with us. Right? You weren't born here. You weren't molded by it.
Outliers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, because even if you were to it's like, and even then it's like if you think of something like Watchmen, you go outside and people are like going, what?
Yeah.
Like even something that's considered, that we would consider part of our zeitgeist, has nothing to do with the outside culture, with the culture at large.
Wow.
So I guess in a sense that, so it's very, we're a lot more insular than we remember. So because of that, right, we're a niche within a niche within a niche, right, which kind of leads me to our topic of the day, because eventually it would have to, right?
Oh, thank goodness.
This was something that's been bugging me, right? And I'm sure it's been bugging a lot of people too. Every time you do a Kickstarter, right? Is that how much can we actually talk about our stuff? And that's always, because especially like I was just on Brian Polito's Facebook page, and all this guy does is talk about Lady Death. Everything on his thing is Lady Death. That's like I kind of wonder, like, do you think he ever tires about talking about Lady Death? Like
I don't know. That man has a super passion for Sworn Nation, and just like
right.
I don't know. I wouldn't think so, because it's like every time he mentions her, it's makes it rain, make it rain,
right.
make it rain, dollar bills.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tire of a fucking IP that was blowing up like
right. Yeah. So it's like,
and he's passionate about it from go. That's how he got there in the first fucking place.
Yeah,
let's not forget that. So no, I wouldn't imagine.
So it's like, so why do we feel we have to be more reticent with our own books? Like it's actually, because it's like the thing that always surprised me. Even for myself, right? Just to give an example, for as long as I've been drawing Egoraven, since about 1999, 2000s, 2000 is when I actually started posting comic book pages online. I was just doing book fucking around. I was just like, okay, whenever I did a page, I just posted it on my website. Did you know that I never said her name out loud until 3 years ago?
Huh.
I didn't realize that until that first Kickstarter came out. Until I put up that first Kickstarter. And I realized that one of the big hurdles I had to get over was saying Egoraven's name out loud because I had never done it. And then like putting together cue cards of what the story's about because I had never done that out loud. And now all of a sudden it's like it's like I was on my stream on Wednesday and I was saying, it's like, look, buckle up, kids. This is all I'm going to be talking about for the next 2 months because Egoraven launches on June 10th, right? Link in the chat. But the thing is, and the thing is, it's like even to this day, I feel kind of embarrassed. Like I felt embarrassed saying that. Like I had to apologize that, about talking my book. Rob says, I don't stop talking about Nightwolf and Snowpaw. I'm sure everyone around me is sick of it. LOL. No, and that's kind of, that's what I'm talking about. That it's like on my own stream, drawing my own character for my own book that's going live on Kickstarter in less than a month. I felt the need to apologize for talking about it. Do you think Scholastic apologizes for mentioning Dogman? Do you think, like, even Pilkey, Dave Pilkey, do you think he gets embarrassed talking about Dogman or like even when he was talking about Captain Underpants? Do you think they get embarrassed? I mean, it's the same. Yeah, like Brian Pulido. Do you think we've already accepted that Brian Pulido does not get embarrassed talking about Lady Death. So why do we get embarrassed talking about our own books and our own characters, right? Like it's like what Rob said. It's like, oh, I'm sure everyone around me is fed up with me talking about it. But here's the thing though, are they really? If someone is that interested in your book, do they get tired of listening, of hearing about it? Because it's like, yeah, because I know that in the past we've spoken about, like advertising, like people who advertise their books on Facebook.
Right.
And there are like certain things that people do that we can say either works in their favor or is a turnoff, right? But even then, we can only judge that by our own feelings about it. And and maybe you also get the extra data of people actually telling you how they feel about certain things popping up in their feed, right? Because I get worried about that too. So here I am, so I'm in pre-launch, right? And I really want to get my pre-launch page to 200 followers. Because the more followers you have on your pre-launch page, the better the conversion is. So even if you get like a 20% conversion, the more followers you have, the larger that 20% is.
Right.
So, that's, and also 200 is nice. It's a nice number to see. So, but the thing is though, is that I'm sitting here going, should I post about the pre-launch page as much as I would if it was live? You know what I mean? Because
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But then I get this thing that am I going to bother people by posting about Egoraven for 2 months? And it's like, but then how do I, how do I like kind of like build that
momentum to get get
to the 200?
Okay, so here's the deal. You have to remember, this is why we have multiple platforms. Okay, because you will exhaust people, especially Facebook. People will easily get exhausted and mute. That's why usually during early sign up. I'll post once, twice a week, maybe on my
Right.
own page.
Uh-huh.
In active pre-launch, where it's like right before the campaign goes live, at least every other day. And then when it's live, you just fucking hammer that shit, because I don't want to risk getting muted. And after about 30 days, people are fucking exhausted.
Right.
Just as exhausted as, yeah, you've got to have that slow, like Rob just said, think of it as a slow buildup.
Right. I mean, because it's
Like,
like, look,
hey,
I go,
baby, I'm going to tickle your inner thighs.
all
Now I'm going
right.
to kiss them. Oh, I'm going to, what is that?
Oh, I gotta go
What?
get some coffee.
And then, like, you know,
You
like,
gotta edge the audience.
right. Right, for sure. And
So,
just,
yeah, I mean,
but hit the other platforms in the meantime.
right.
Like, just do the copy paste shit on your shit that you're keeping alive, your threads, your blue sky,
Right, yeah.
whatever. Reach out
Mhm.
there in hopes of hooking.
Right.
But for sure, and then in the groups, because the groups are there for that. The groups have so much traffic
Right.
that it's okay to hit them fucking daily.
Right.
If you want. I
Right.
still prefer not to, because I have to post so many books that I don't
Right.
want people exhausted of me and muting my account, period.
Right.
Which will happen.
Right.
So I have to be cautious. Like, I
Right.
wouldn't go into every group every day with every campaign,
Mhm.
but I will go into groups every day and rotate out campaigns.
Right.
With the exception of 3 groups, because I'm mod in them.
Right,
And
yeah,
nobody
yeah.
kicking me out of my own fucking group.
Right.
But
But also, how much of it has to do with what you present? Like, like we've talked about posts that really look like ads, that they build the graphic to look like an ad, as
Okay.
opposed to people who just post artwork.
Okay, artwork always does better. The posts that are
Right.
designed to look like ads, which I cannot seem to get this through to a lot of people. First of all, if more than 20%, there is an actual graphic or card out there. If you go and get it, there's an app that will test the text versus image ratio to tell you whether or not you're getting buried on Kicks or on Facebook, because anything that's more than 20% is automatically going to be buried in feed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, then you've got the backers who feel like this is just a fucking hard sell, that you're not trying to get
Right.
interest. So I have always been like, if you're going to use those, use them for launch announcements and closing, or maybe
Right.
a specialty tier, but
Right.
don't run that shit every day. You've got to put those covers up there.
Right.
Pretty, get your artist works in progress, share
Right.
those with your links and shit
Uh-huh.
too.
Right.
Like, don't just stick to templates, because it does get you buried.
Mm. So now, what if like the body of the post, because it's like, I'm convinced that nobody reads the body of the post.
But they do.
They do.
That's why it's important to do both. When I tell you, like, do the short where it's just like da 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 link and
Right.
artist, whoever.
Right.
Always give your artist credit, which you don't have to worry
Right.
about that, because you do that. But that's it. Simple, short, nothing else. Share the main link with it,
Right.
rotate it out, share an image with it, share a template, whatever, share. But then you also have to throw in that long form post occasionally for that person who's just like, well, this ain't saying nothing, but here's a picture.
Right.
Because you are going to have your actual readers in there, and your readers will read that long form
Right.
post. So you really need to switch it
Right.
out.
But in the pre-launch phase, that it's like, even if I were like to switch out images and like do like really like like kind of like graphic prominent
Right.
posts, that don't look like advertising, that doesn't use a template, that doesn't have logos on it, it's
You
just like,
still
here's my
sometimes throw your
artwork.
story.
Right. But I mean, but you still don't, but there is a risk of overexposure. Is there?
Only because we're seeing the same things, because we're most of the time Facebook's feeding back into our own friend circle.
Right.
So it's constant. Like, we're going to be in some of the same groups. It's going to be like this. you know, but I don't think that if you're not running it as constant advertisement, if you're not doing this, okay,
Right.
this is, and I don't mean that y'all do this, but seriously, some people do. Buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my
Right.
shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. Am I annoying you yet? Buy my
Right.
shit, buy my shit. If you're not doing it like that, then it tends to do better.
Right.
And I don't think you risk being muted because you're just sharing what you're doing.
Right.
But the moment it turns into that constant buy my shit,
Right.
it's different. Like and I think that's why Polito can talk so much about Lady Death, because he's not constantly doing that buy my shit. When he's live, even when he's live, he's doing giveaways or fucking they do parties and shit. I mean,
the thing with Polito though is that his audience is so big
it is
that conversely he doesn't have to really advertise.
no.
So,
But for those that do,
right.
you switch it up. Switch it up.
Right.
Don't always feel like, oh, I have to market. Just be chill, be real, be
Right.
genuine.
Right.
Get, your pitch, rotate out between different artworks. Like I
Right.
said, works in progress do really well too. Like
Uh-huh.
people love to see pencils and then they like to see inks. Throw
Right.
that shit out there too.
It's like Rob says, if you want people to be interested, you need to give the pitch and a captivating image with the link. Well, yeah.
And
Yeah,
you don't
I
always
mean,
have to give the pitch. I'm saying switch it up to where it's like, hey, okay, so like be like Nightwolf Volume 2 cover art artist, blah blah blah.
right. Like kind of like a little museum card, as
Right.
opposed to like I'm posting this artwork, here's what the artwork is.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like because there's this whole kind of like thing about, oh, you're your brand, right? You're your brand. It's Lady Death is Brian Polito's brand.
Right.
But I don't know. It's like I just pretty I only really have two books. I have Tall Tales and I have Egoraven, right?
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, sometimes it feels safer that I have the two books that I can switch between. It's like,
Right.
so, I had Tall Tales before, now it's Egoraven coming up. But I don't know, like what if, it's like what if you just have the one thing? Like you don't switch it up, like you have like the one brand, right? So it's not like you're going to be showing artwork or anything about anything else. It's like, do you see people kind of like just like, oh, it's this character again, it's this person again, like does that matter?
But no, it doesn't, because here's the deal: if they're tired of you like that because of that reason, then they're not your intended audience anyway. So what if they fucking mute you at that point? But you don't want to drown out the supporters, and you can do that with overkill of the whole buy my shit pitch. If buy my shit is your pitch, you're going to get ignored.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's like,
I
guess
you have to be polite about it.
Well, sure. I mean, it's just kind of like a weird position to be in, because it's
there
like,
is no secret sauce. There really isn't.
You have to it's because it's like to get, I mean, the whole point of marketing is getting attention on your stuff.
Right.
But that could backfire on you.
It can, yeah.
Because also that was like another thing that I was thinking, that it's like,
yes, and this is starting
don't slide
up
into
again.
people's DMs. That's
motherfuckers. Cool. That is the fastest way for me to mute you off the bat. And what's really sucks about that is it means you'll never see the fucking group. You'll never see, because I get so tired of that shit.
Right.
Don't do that. You don't need to do that. We're all in the same fucking places. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that is, that is kind of like weird. It's like, oh, my Kickstarter's live. Can you give it a look?
Nope.
or something, and I've never spoken to you before. Like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
different if we
Yeah, no,
already
it's
have a
totally different if
relationship,
there's an open
you know?
relationship already. But god dang, the motherfuckers that have never spoken to you before, the creepy little
Right.
like I
Yeah.
get for a while there they died down and I was like, wow, this is nice. And then all of a sudden the shit started
Right.
picking back up again because everybody's desperate and grasping
Right.
right now because the market is weird and shaky.
Right.
And I get that. You got backers backing and dropping and their
Right.
pledges and all this shit.
Right.
But that's just part of the game.
Right.
It
Yeah,
like
that's I mean, yeah, that's kind of yeah, people I think just do that because it's like they get told that that's what they're supposed, like they read that someone else did it, and then they figure,
right,
"Oh, I should do that too," without really thinking it through as to whether they should be doing it or not.
right.
Um but it's a yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because it's like it's the thought of like how did we end up in a situation where it's like we're working on in this creative medium that really requires you to put yourself out there while at the same time kind of being uh like modest about it. Like you need to be an introvert and an extrovert at the same time.
You need to be a humble extrovert.
Mm, right.
That's what it boils down to because the
Uh-huh.
ones that are this is the greatest and I am and those
Right.
are the ones that get ignored the fastest.
Mm.
Oh, I'm like, oh,
Well,
mute, mute, mute,
yeah.
mute, 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 mute.
Well, yeah, because yeah, I don't know because it's like if I like a book, I mean, I'm gonna still keep paying attention to it. But if I don't like a book, then yeah, then even if you just post once or
Right.
twice, it's going to annoy me.
Well, right, for sure.
Right.
But if I don't like a person,
Oh
ha!
well, that's true too. That's true too. I mean,
And
I've not
because we're on
followed books
social
because I
media,
don't like
I'm more
people. Yeah.
likely to get to know the individual before their project.
Right. Yeah, and that's yeah, that's an easy way to kill interest.
It
I mean,
is.
there is a wisdom behind don't meet your idols type of
Yeah.
thing, even though we're not talking about idols. But at the same time, though, we do say that you should meet people in person. I prefer conventions myself in terms of that. That it probably like conventions is they're good for the reason that you can meet people that you see online in person and like
Right.
suss out their vibe. But yeah, so it's just like I don't know. It's like I said, it's like I mean, it's like does anybody else out there like feel like they have to apologize for their books?
No, you don't have to apologize for your
That it's like,
book.
oh, it's like I don't know. It's just kind yeah, because I don't know. Like I said, it's like on Wednesday, I was yeah, on my show. It's like it kind of like hit me. It's like, why am I apologizing for talking about my book? I mean, it's like on my own show, no less.
Right, right.
You
No,
know?
that's 100% your fucking space. They
Right.
don't have to
Yeah.
fucking be there. That's not
Right.
even putting it on a Facebook wall and they accidentally are scrolling and seeing
Right.
you too much. They sought you out and went to your YouTube
Right.
channel because you were live
Right.
and they are there.
Right.
So no, absolutely not.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of I was tweaking I'm still tweaking my Kickstarter page. It's like I guess it's a good thing to have like that kind of like that month buffer
Right.
before going live because like just this morning I was going through kind of my box of stuff that I've offered up in previous campaigns, and I noticed that I still had a bunch of metal bookmarks and trading cards. So I
Ooh.
decided to put those up because I go, oh, bookmarks, especially because it is a trade paperback. So it's like, oh, this would be good to put on to get the metal bookmarks, right? And then it's like I remembered on my first trade, I offered up original artwork bookmarks because you don't do
And they're
sketch
great.
covers. right? Yeah, it's like, but they're smaller.
Can't
You
get
know,
to
you
mine.
charge about the same for them, and you know, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, and it comes in a sleeve. It has a little tassel. It goes well with the trade. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the one that I did for one of the ones I did for the first trade paperback. And it's just a little original piece of artwork, you know.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so it's like I put that on my campaign. So yeah, it just allows me some time to kind of remember like what else should be on the campaign, because it is a trade paperback, so I have to think about it a little bit differently than when I do like individual issues.
Right.
Although I can hear Jose like rolling
Because it
his
becomes an
eyes right
event.
now. Yeah, I can hear Jose rolling his eyes right now because everything's the same to him. All his campaigns are the same. He's just putting them out, trade paperback, individual issue, whatever, right? But I don't know. I just feel like it should be a little different, you know? Yeah, because we were talking about how, that the trade that there, yeah, it's like, it's kind of like the individual issues are the buildup. They
Right.
shouldn't be treated as the, like, oh, this is the thing. Actually, it's the trade
Right.
paperback that's the thing. There are
Right.
people waiting for the trade paperback.
So make an event out of it.
Right. So that's what I'm kind of like, sitting
Better
there.
add-ons,
Yeah.
bigger
Right.
bigger stretch goals type
Right,
shit. Yeah.
like, even I don't know, because I kind of had to stop myself from getting a little carried away, because the thing that that for the trade paperback that I do differently from the individual issues is the packaging is different
Yes.
for the trade paperback. So for the individual issues, I just get like the regular like Uline fold up boxes, and that's what people get. It's like, if I really wanted to make them, you see, here's the thing though. I don't like, so I have these poly mailers, right?
Right.
That I put those on the inside. I know it's a little strange, so that if it rains and the package gets soaked, the books are still safe. The books are waterproof, but I put them
Right.
on the inside of the box because I don't know. I'm always paranoid about the post office,
Yes.
like, putting a little too much attention on my boxes. So I try to make them as discreet as possible. So like all so like everything is on the inside. So you get like a brown box, but
Right.
the special stuff is on the inside, right? If I do that, I put the poly mailer. I don't use it on the outside. But when it comes to trade paperbacks, it feels different. Like I don't mind as much because I guess because I don't know, the boxes are larger. I don't know. It just feels different. So they're books, so with the trade paperbacks, I decided that I'm going to, what I did with my first volume is that instead of getting the brown boxes, I got the white clamshells,
Oh, cute.
like the white the white regular boxes, the
Right.
folding, and then I made and bought custom tape. So I'm trying that for the first time.
Nice.
Sticker Mule for I think it was like 300 feet of that paper, that reinforced tape, custom tape, was like $30. So I thought, oh, let me try something with
Nice.
that. So I customized tape for the trade paperback.
I can get you fancier than that. I found a lady on Etsy who does the washi tape too, so you could do the customized washi tape on the
Oh, that's
on the
cute.
inside.
That's cute. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, right. Oh, hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta talk to you later about that.
Okay.
Maybe that might be something cute to do, like to close up the bags,
Yeah.
because I like to, because it's like I've always learned from Meredith, don't use Scotch tape, right?
No,
And
don't
even from
Scotch
you,
tape
it's like,
or duct tape,
right? Who
which people
uses
are
duct
doing.
tape?
I've had it happen. Use painter's tape or washi tape or no tape at all, please.
Right. where it's like they use because I even looked into like removable stickers, but they're very expensive.
Right.
Because that would have been nice, removable stickers. But I don't know. There might be a way I still might be able to do that. I have to look it up.
On trades.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, you use that to close the bags.
And please stop sending us the self-sealing fucking bags.
Oh,
I hate
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit with a
Gemini doesn't
passion.
use those. What's funny is it took me a while to realize that Gemini doesn't use those until one day it's like I was just taping and then it just hit me. It's like, oh, I'm taping these closed. I didn't realize it wasn't because when we buy the bags, when we used to buy the bags from Midtown, they were all the self-sealing.
I hate those.
And I hate those. Yeah, and I hate those little plastic tabs that they always stick to you. It's like they don't like they're so difficult to throw in the garbage because they stick to everything. But Gemini mailers that they don't have self-sealing. You have to tape them closed. And I much prefer that. I much prefer that. I have like this whole, it is. I'm debating. You see, I'm trying to control myself from buying all this ancillary stuff because I still have plenty of like stickers that I could still, like use up. But I don't know, like being able to have like the box come together thematically, have kind of like an aesthetic.
It's
box.
an event. It's an
Right.
event.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
It's
kind of stupid, but
it is totally stupid. But it sets the mood for even the backer.
Right. Because here's the thing. And
it's foreplay.
It's because Rob's pile next to his door kind of like reinforced this.
How you gonna stand out?
Box stands out from your pile. Like if it has custom tape, it's a custom box, or it has something that stands out from everybody else in that pile. Are you more likely to open it as when you get it? Or than if you just plopped it in a pile? Because me though, it's like whenever I get a package, I open it. So it's not like I have the box that I had under my desk was books that I was storing. Like I read them already. I put them there. And it became a giant sponge underneath my desk. It was so gross. But like, no, not in your case.
But because he's a man. Because he's a straight man.
Oh, like
gay men
box, like
and heterosexual women and gay women everywhere love aesthetic.
We love aesthetic. Yeah, we really do. We really do. But yeah, so it's like so that's also another thing that I was, because Jose does it, he always opens up his boxes too. So I mean that's a question, Rob. So what makes you not open a box you get? Like how did the pile start? Because like I said, Jose opens up boxes as soon as he sees it, he opens it up. It's very rare that it takes him a while to open.
Yeah, and I keep saying I'm not going to open mine because I'm going to do an unboxing video.
Right.
And then it's like 2 or 3 come in and I'm like, I can't wait to open them because I'm waiting for that gold nugget to come out of all the shit.
Right.
Did I say that out loud? It's true though. It's true though. Like the majority of the indies are not that impressive, but every now and then you find that chunk of gold, and it's like, and I'm always waiting for that next good hit. Like
right, yeah. I mean, it's like, you don't have time. You just get it and put it in the pile. Really, like just to open it up and probably the first one to hit me when the oh, okay. So I have to make my box heavy enough. That's what it is.
Right. So it slides right off his shit. Put the poly. Oh, I know how you solve that, Daphne. Put the poly mailer on the outside because then this shit's slippery.
Oh no. Yeah. So I was just like, So I was like, because it's like I was like putting together because I figured like I get like regular paper bookmarks for. Here's another question. how do people feel about getting stuff in their packages that may or may not be directly related to the book that they ordered?
I prefer my shit to be related, but if it's related to the publisher of the book, then it's
Right.
different.
Right.
Like not everything that came with the Faust package was Faust, but
Right.
it was different creators that were involved in the
Right.
project or one way or another.
Right.
So,
Right. Because let me just let me
but
ask
like,
people.
I mean, unless you're sending
Right.
me free M&Ms or Skittles or some shit.
Well, no, which I have seen people. No, I think there's a T-shirt company that Jose orders from that they always sell. They always have Haribo gummies inside.
Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't remember. I Tea Fury or something. They're from
I
Ireland.
prefer it be related.
You prefer it be related?
I prefer
Okay,
it be
because
related.
because it's like that's kind of how I'm feeling, right? But I figure, okay, so I'm getting more because it's a trade paperback, right?
Right.
So bookmarks are a big thing for me, especially with the trade paperback.
Sure.
So I have to order more bookmarks, regular bookmarks. I just put them in. And then I do have the metal and the art bookmarks that are available for purchase, but I always like to give a bookmark with the trade paperbacks. Makes
Right.
sense, right?
Sure.
Thing is, though, so this is the standard one that I'm getting. I have to get more of, right?
Right.
Now, the thing is, though, I still have a butt ton of these, a small butt ton.
They're related.
I have
How's
a
that
stack.
not related?
So this is the bookmark that I was offering up on the Viking Slut campaign, right? So it's a double-sided Loki
Right.
bookmark. You know, his human on one and his werewolf form on the other. And because it's a bookmark, though, and this is a trade, you know, do you think that people would mind also getting this bookmark, like getting two bookmarks?
No, because I mean, especially with the paper bookmarks, we're gonna fucking use those. Metal, I might be
Right.
like weird, but whatever.
Right, yeah. Those are
But
more like special, you know, those are more like,
yeah. No, like I wouldn't have a problem receiving two bookmarks because I'm not gonna just use the bookmark for your book.
Right. So it wouldn't be like kind of weird that even though this is from Viking Slut to put
No,
it
it
in with
wouldn't
the trade
because you're
paper.
the artist.
Right, it's still my artwork, so it would make sense.
Right.
Okay. All right, then I don't
yeah.
feel because like I said, I still have to
And Loki has something is in with Egoraven. So
right.
you know what might be weird is if you had a abundance of tall tales fucking even though
Right,
you're
that
the
wouldn't
artist
make
and
sense.
you sent
Yeah.
me a tall tales bookmark, you know, then I'd be kind of
Right.
like, oh, okay.
Right, because it's like, okay, so
But-
here's my so here's like my Tall Tales bookmark.
Yeah. And even though that's
Which-
your artwork, it's not it's unrelated. You
Right.
feel me?
Right. So I guess this should only go in if somebody orders the Tall Tales trade paperback.
Yep.
But this is still related. Like
Yes.
technically these are both Egoraven related.
Right.
So that would be okay.
Sure.
But if I had done this, that would be kind of weird.
It would be okay, but it
Would
just
make
kind of
sense.
goes out of theme.
Right.
And that's what you're going for.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. So okay, so this is okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I don't feel too bad. All right. Because I was like going, oh man, it's like, you know, like technically these aren't going to make any sense anymore until like the novel comes out. And it's like, I'm going to have these sitting here. But it's like, no, if you know, yeah. So if you're saying this makes sense with this,
yeah,
then okay, then I won't feel bad putting them in. Because technically I don't have that many. I just have extras from the last campaign, from the Viking Slut campaign. So I was just wondering.
Now, if you wanted to do and so like as a backer incentive,
right,
the whole little grab bags things that's just scrambled random, it
Right.
wouldn't matter. It could come from
well,
anything
I did that
you do.
right. Well, I did that already. I was able, as far as I know, people enjoyed getting the grab bags.
Well, for sure.
You know, so I did that already, and I was able to clear out a lot of stuff because of it. Now it's just kind of like, oh, I hate to use the word leftovers, but it's not leftovers. I just still have plenty of stuff, but now it's like the kind of like, now it's just trying to like fit them together to see. It's
Right.
like, okay, like I don't like it's not enough for grab bags anymore,
Right.
but I still have some stuff.
Right.
So, and I gotta round the corners too. It's like ever since I did that at Baltimore Comic Con, I was so bored. I was round. I had a card paper rounder, and I was just rounding the corners of everything, every card that was on the table, every postcard, every bookmark, every business card I had, every trading card, everything ended up with rounded corners by the end of the convention. And
Should have
now,
totally shipped my business cards to you.
yeah, I know. And now it's like I'm like, everything needs to be rounded. Like again, aesthetic. We love aesthetic, right?
Right.
Rounded corners. There's something about rounded corners that is much
We like curves.
nicer. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, so I have, yeah, because this is, because this is one of the, so you see the rounded corners there, right?
Mhm.
And this is, a bookmark that I didn't round the corners on.
Yeah, you totally have to round those
Oh,
corners.
totally have to round out the corners now, right?
I need to-
Unfortunately, it would be a lot easier if my manufacturer did rounded corners, but they don't. So I just have to sit here clipping everything, and then I end up with a floor full of those little triangles, the
Oh
paper
my God.
triangles from the corners. But okay,
It's
all right.
confetti. It's confetti now.
Right, yeah. Oh, here's one more thing. How do people feel about things that are like branded? Like,
What do you mean? Like your own brand?
yeah,
Like Egoworks?
yeah, like it's
Depends
not,
on what
it
it
does,
is.
like something. Oh, come on. Like getting something like, oh, like a keychain with my logo on it. Would that make any sense?
Well, yeah, because it's your project. But
But
I would save those for floppies.
so this,
I would stick to something
really
Egoraven
right.
specific. Like if you wanted to
Right.
have your brand on there, the egoworks.com,
Really? So you would
do
think
the
that a
Egoraven.
keychain
I would
keychain
still go
would
Egoraven.
go with, okay, so something like this would be better for floppies.
Right.
Right. Okay, hold on. So okay.
But you've made charms and keychains that were Egoraven, and if I'm not
Right.
mistaken, I think you've branded like one had Egoworks on
Right.
it.
Well,
I'd have to
yeah,
look.
I had
Yeah, there you go. Because and you know what brings that together is even though you're still on there, you got
right
Loki and Egoraven.
on it. So this would
Right.
make more sense.
Yeah, to me it would.
Oh, okay. What about something like this?
She's still there, yeah.
So this coaster, like,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, because that's also another thing too that kind of like got me confused as to like yeah, it's like yeah, like so this would work because Egoraven's on it.
It would work, but it would be even better if it was just Egoraven and Orchid.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. That's
But-
true. Like,
But we're working with what you have.
right, like,
So
right, yeah, that's the thing. So it's like
God, if that was a fucking coaster in that fucking trade, yeah, that would
Right.
be fucking epic.
we'll keep that in mind. Depending on how the trade paperback does, because
Right.
it's like I don't want to get too carried away with manufacturing stuff.
No.
But we'll keep that in mind depending on how the campaign does. But that's kind of, yeah, so this is kind of like, how I'm thinking right now. I'm just thinking out loud. Just
Right.
thinking out loud for the benefit of the peoples.
It's what
You
we
know,
do.
That's what we
Science.
do. Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
Science.
So because it's very, because we've seen campaigns that like offer up so much stuff. And I think like for a while, like I got embarrassed by the amount of stuff that I was giving away. Like that was like another thing. Rob says, I put my logo, Lone Wolf Comics, on everything, but that is now the main focus. I learned early in my full-time career that you want to make your brand known.
Right.
Yeah. You know, because yeah, exactly. You got to, yeah, because that's the thing too. It's like we have to build our brand along with the book.
Right.
You know,
so you
it's
have
like,
egoworks.com, but you
Right.
have it specific to Egoraven for this run.
right, yeah.
And you have egoworks.com, and you have it more generic for the floppy issues.
Right, yeah. Yeah. You know, so yeah, so I was just like, so yeah, I was just going through my box here because it's like, you know, this is where I keep all my promo stuff.
Right.
So I have like all my promo trading cards and everything. So yeah, so I like to keep everything. So yes, I was just going through this to see, you know, what I could put on the campaign before it goes live. link in the chat.
Link. And in the show notes.
Link in the chat in the show notes. You know, so okay, so moral of the story is that for pre-launch, I kind of have to like take it a little easier, but kind of make the posts simpler and less ad-like. Right?
Right.
And then once the campaign goes live, then I could be a little bit more obvious with the promo, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Cause like, yeah, I still feel like I should be doing a little bit more than what I'm doing, especially if I want to get to 200 followers. But like I said, I just don't want to inundate everybody with stuff, you know? Maybe it just I guess it's like yeah, just treat it more like a gallery that happens to have a link in it. Or something. I would have, yeah, it's like I just have to you know, not go overboard. So so that's kind of where I am right now. That's kind of where I am right now. How about you, Nita?
I'm with you, Lage.
Right, yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, I have to, yeah. And the thing is, though, it's not that I'm embarrassed by my book.
You shouldn't be.
You know, I don't, you know, it's like I don't want to, you know, give that impression. I'm very proud of my book. I work very hard on it, and I really do think that I'm making a book that I hope people enjoy. You know, it's because it's like I'm remembering what I said the other day, that interest comes first, and then it's only the audience that can decide whether the book is good or not. Like I could say my book is good all day long, but it's really the audience that that decides that. You know, it's kind of like you don't give yourself your own nickname.
Right.
You know, you can't. A nickname doesn't count if you made it up, right?
Oh, fuck.
What happened?
I can't be the notorious NITA.
Oh, well, no, that's funny though. That is
No.
funny. Well, that was just no, but it's not. Nobody's calling you that, but you're not calling you that either. That's more like
No.
a joke for
Right.
the vlogs. You know, it's not like you know, it's not like you go up to them and say, "Hi, my name's Nita, but my friends call me the notorious NITA." Nobody calls you that.
Oh, fuck.
You know.
No, they just enunciate it differently.
Right,
There's
right.
oh, it's Nita or
Right.
Nita.
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 That's Nita.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Bruh.
Bro.
You know, I mean, so yeah, so I don't want to give the impression that it's like I'm embarrassed by my book. That's why I don't want to talk about it. It's like I'm not. It's like I work hard on it. You know, I put a lot of sweat equity into it, a lot of thought into it. You know, and I hope people are enjoying it. And I think that for the response that the pre-launch page is getting, I think that I'm accomplishing that. at least that people, do see this, does see Egoraven as a book that they enjoy reading, and in the end, it's like, that's really the thing, that it's like, well, I can say I do this for myself all I want, but it's a lot more fun when I can share it with people. So the fact that people are enjoying it enough to come back to my campaigns so that I can have very consistent campaigns, I mean, I think that means something, right?
Right.
So it's just that marketing makes it a little bit confusing as to what I should be doing or not doing.
Right.
So, that's oh, Rob says, you had me hooked on Egoraven since you asked me to give you a pull quote. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was really taking a chance with those pull quotes. That was when I was finding out, it's like, oh, are people really gonna like this? But I'm glad you like it. I'm glad. So that's just what I'm thinking. It's like, I guess it's like the pre-jitters to the next Kickstarter.
Right.
Tall Tales is out. Tall Tales is at the printer. All the other books that I have on the campaign, I have in house already. So the second I get those books in, I mean, I have the bubble wrap. I probably just need to buy more boxes, and I'm good to go. So actually, I don't even. I have to check downstairs. I think we might have enough. So we'll see. No, I might have to buy more boxes because we have Magi's Grace we're going to have to fulfill, and we also have an Oswald that's about to finish that we're going to have to fulfill as well. So I'm going to have to buy more boxes. Yeah, it's so it's like, it's that checklist we all have to go through. So
use coupon code RAGIN10. Oh wait,
yes,
wait,
exactly. No, yes, yes, Gemini mailers. Yes, we do have the Gemini code. Yeah, it's like RAGIN10. It does work. I've used it.
store wide.
Yes, store
on anything, mailers, whatever.
Yeah, because I use it to get the bags and boards, and really, it's a bargain. I mean, the amount we would used to spend like twice as much buying bags and boards from Midtown over here, and Gemini Mailer makes it. They make it so easy to just order bags and boards.
Not sponsored.
No, but we do have we have a coupon code though.
Yeah.
We do have the coupon code. And because I was listening to Carissa the other day on Laurie's show, and she was talking about how she accidentally ordered 2,000 bags and boards from Gemini Mailer because she had forgotten she had another 2,000 in
the cart already
in the garage. Like in her garage.
Oh shit!
And she already forgot. And then she ordered another 2,000. And I go, don't worry about it. You'd be surprised at how quickly we go through that many bags and boards. You'd be surprised. It goes out the door like that. So we do a lot of campaigns. We sell a lot of books and we do a lot of campaigns. So.
Right.
So you have anything else to anything coming up, anything to talk about?
Tune in this afternoon for Arting with the Alley Cat, and then tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, Creative Cranium with Timothy Fling and his guest, and tune in Saturday morning for Sketchy Saturday, and then the rest of the stuff all week long, Sunday funnies, and then we'll be back here on Monday.
And remember that a Sketchy Saturday is now at noon Eastern.
Oh yes, noon Eastern.
Yeah. So how did that new schedule work out last week? Did you do it last week?
Did we? Fuck, I don't even. Oh wait, did we? Yeah, we did. It worked out.
Okay, that's good. That's
good. My brain is fucking scrambled because I've got so much shit on my plate right now that it's really hard to focus.
Right.
And herbal supplements do not help as much as like Adderall or Ritalin when your fucking ADHD is in overdrive.
True.
It's like I'm trying to prevent paralysis. And it did
really
well. But yeah, the new time is going to be better because people who normally would decline from the West Coast
Right.
will be more apt to come on now because we're not, hey, you want to get up and draw at 6 o'clock in the morning? You want
Right.
to get up and
Yeah.
draw at 5 a.m.?
Right. Now it's
shit.
now it's 9 a.m. Like
Yeah.
kind of you're
Which
in the
is a
normal people time
Yeah.
for Californians.
Like
so.
artists are normal people.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
that's true too. Yeah, that's true. So I'd like to thank everybody who joined us in the chat on this rather, I don't know, kind of like a mellow coffee. Yeah, coffee helps to focus. On this rather mellow Friday, I'm just happy that it's not raining. Again,
Storming
it's
here.
just. It's a little overcast, but as long as it's not raining, I'm really kind of fed up with the rain. So yes, and I'd like to thank our beautiful eyeball people for watching us from regions beyond. I hope that I hope that you at least got something out of what I was rambling about, or at least looking forward to what might be coming in your package. Oh, I'm sure, Rob. The rain is always coming in this direction. It's like, yeah, so maybe you're looking forward to what's coming, what might be coming in your package if you pledge to the Egoraven Volume 2 campaign. So who knows, but thank you so much for joining us anyway. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything else that's going on, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates, and maybe some pinups masquerading, some ads masquerading as pinups. However we're going to work that. Link in bio. Yeah, and it's like, and remember that you can also catch me on YouTube at my own channel at Daphne Lage Art for, like I said, 500 plus videos on how I make my artwork and my past draw streams and past vlogs. If you missed anything, everything is in my archive. And also remember that you can catch me on my semi-weekly art live stream Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, where it's 2 hours of me just working on whatever and chatting with the chat. We had a really good conversation on Wednesday. It was really fun. It's kind of like being at a convention, but you don't have to worry about if you're blocking the table or not. So that's pretty cool. So it's semi-weekly Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 6. And remember, you can also read Egoraven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. So again, just remember that Egoraven Volume 2 is on Kickstarter. Well, it's on Kickstarter on pre-launch right now. We're on the road to 200 followers. So we're almost halfway there. So it's actually pretty cool. The campaign launches on June 10th. So so make sure that you hit the link so that you get notified when the campaign goes live, and not miss anything on the campaign. So that's it for us. Thank you so much, everybody. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work, so that when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. And no, never be embarrassed by your work. You work too hard at it. It's like never feel embarrassed talking about your work. Let people know about it, because you know what? The right people will not grow tired hearing about it. So, there you go. That's my thought of the day. And we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Hear me. The Thorn Valley Plan is the aspiration of idiots and dreamers. We were just talking about you.
That's refreshing, Jenner. Usually you're screaming about us.